borderline personality disorder. You know, when you have that disease, and that's what it is, a disease, you'll never be cured. It's something you have to learn to live with the rest of your life. And when people don't understand what a person is going through when they have BPD, it definitely makes it hard to live life and to be in relationships and to be happy, because your mood swings change so much. You're not an angry person, but all it takes is like an incident, something to happen to change your perspective and how you feel about yourself and what surrounds you. Back in the day, that's how I used to deal with it. I hated myself so much because I could not understand why I was going through all these crazy emotions. And you know, I've seen different doctors for over 20 years, and they kept prescribing me all kinds of depression meds. Medication does not work. What does work is going out there and being in a group of people that kind of have the same thing that you're going through, and to have a better understanding for one another. You know, a lot of people say, God, you must have been on some great drugs to cut yourself that much. You know, back in the day, I didn't take nothing. And it was so much of people's bad words and bullying and just looking down upon me, you know, that made it really hard for me to understand myself, to love myself. And that's why I used to like self-harm a lot. And then when I finally broke down and went to see a doctor and being misdiagnosed for all them years, you know, they kept giving me all kinds of meds, said I was this, said I was that. You know, all it did was made me more lost. So the medication they was giving me made me very suicidal. Back in the day, I didn't want to die. I just, you know, I had bad reaction to life, and I didn't understand it. But when I was taking the depression meds, it made me feel so lost. It made me feel so disconnected with the world that's BPD is already something that makes you feel disconnected from the world. It makes your everyday life so confusing. It's hard to get a hold of reality, because every time I turn around, something's changing on you. And when something changes on you, it's hard to focus on it. It could take, like, it could be a death in the family. It could be changing jobs. And you got used to a routine. And that's one thing, man, is like when you have BPD, it's good to stick to a routine, something that you can get familiar with and not to have so much changes in your life. And I'm not saying that changes are not good, but only if it's a positive change. Only if it's a positive change. When I started taking the medications, I started doing a lot more self-harming. Jumping out of buildings, wanting to commit suicide, putting guns to my head, and wanting to pull the trigger. Get so mad because the demons kept telling me, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. And I wouldn't do it because I kept thinking about my kids and my family, and I didn't really want to die. It's just the demons in my head and the devil's BPD, because I ain't claiming it. Control me and control my emotions, and it had me bouncing around like crazy, and I couldn't stay focused. So definitely, it made me do a lot of stupid things I would never done. You know, they say 7 out of 10 people with BPD tries to commit suicide. 1 in 10 succeeds. Having BPD, a person will do like drinking and drugs a lot because they're trying to cope with their emotions and their feelings. Cannot self-medicate. Cannot take depression pills. It's all about group therapy and talking and having people around you that's supportive, and that's going to give you the time of day to listen to your emotions and care what's going on inside you. If you don't know what BPD is, Google it. You might just save your family's life. I had no one out there to look my condition up, and they went the whole life wondering what was wrong with me and didn't know how to handle me, didn't know how to talk to me. You know what I mean? And my family now is looking the symptoms up, they're starting to read about it and have a better understanding. Even myself is having a better understanding of BPD because I've been reading up on it, and I'm like, wow. Do you know a lot of people with BPD, they also self-harm. They do stupid things. They have violent sex. They are lost in a lot of ways because they're trying to find themselves. Just like a kid when he becomes a teenager, you know, they have that authority. They're trying to find their place in this world. I'm just trying to find my place in this world.